What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. I am Pitching Ninja, and I'm here with a bootylicious Will Leahey.
That's absolutely right, Ninja. And speaking of bootylicious, we had an epic battle of Japanese aces last night. And I'm not talking about an NPB game. I'm talking about right here in MLB. We had Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Shoto Imanaga. And it was a treat, Ninja. I know these are two of your favorite guys in the league because they're two of the filthiest guys in the league. And what'd you see out of Yama's return last night?
I thought Yoshinobu Yamamoto looked better than I've ever seen him look, and that is saying a lot. Like, he was absolutely dominant. He ended up with 8 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 1 run, only threw 59 pitches, but that doesn't come close to telling the story. His fastballs are up to 98 miles an hour. He had these vicious splitters, up to 93 miles an hour on the splitter. And look at these things, pure filth. And he had this curveball that was absolutely disgusting. I don't think you can miss a pitch by more than it was missed here. He started this game with 4 consecutive Ks, 5 of the first 6 hitters he struck out, 8 Ks over the first 3 innings. Just a tour de force from Yamamoto, and this is huge for the Dodgers. We had recently talked about how thin the Dodgers pitching was and what are they going to do? Well, if Yamamoto pitches like this, he can carry them through the postseason because that Yamamoto is one of the best pitchers in baseball. Absolutely disgusting. Here's an overlay of his fastball and splitter, and you see why that pitch combination would be hell on a hitter. The only run scored off him was on an infield single. It was really kind of a run, but absolutely brilliant from Yamamoto. He faced Shota Imanaga, who was solid yesterday, not great. He had 4 Ks in 7 innings, giving up 3 runs, but still the Cubs beat the Dodgers 6-3, despite all of Yamamoto's effort and despite Shota really not being at the top of his game. Shota had this fastball, sweeper, picked up a sword, as well as his changeup. But to me, again, the big takeaway was Yamamoto is back and back with a vengeance.
Ninja, I'd also like to point out PCA's defensive effort in this game. He had 3 incredible catches. He robbed a couple of extra base hits, and then ended the game robbing a dom.
Pitch, ball out towards right center field. Pete Crow Armstrong at the wall, jumps.
The guy was also 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Just maybe a coming out party of sorts for PCA.
Yeah, he's absolutely one of the most exciting young players to watch. Big fan. Now to the rest of my whip around the league, Keider Montero was outstanding yesterday with 5 strikeouts in 9 shutout innings, giving up only 3 hits as the Tigers blanked the Rockies 11-0. A big Keider Montero round of applause. He had these knuckle curves and just was in command the entire game. He faced Bradley Blaylock, who had 4 Ks in 4 innings, giving up 4 earned runs, and these fastballs, including this one at the knees. Carmen Majinski had 1 K in 2 scoreless innings, giving up no hits, as the Pirates sailed past the Marlins 6-4. He had this painted 97-mile-an-hour heater. He faced the old Allerback boy, Adam Aller, who had 2 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 6 runs, had the slurve and curveball, because he ain't no Allerback girl. The Phillies galloped past the Rays 9-4. Ranger Suarez had 2 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 4 runs. He had this inside 2-seamer. He faced Taj Bradley, who had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 3 earned runs. He had these fastballs, cutters, picked up a sword on his cutter, and this game was marred or made better due to this benches clearing incident. Of course, it was Castellanos involved during the debate last night. He has his way of interrupting every single big moment.
Ninja, so I heard him speak after the game, and it kind of made sense. He knew he was going to get drilled. He said he believes Uceda was pissed. He hurt his ERA a bunch. It kind of actually made sense. I got to say, though, I think Manfred's got to step in and not allow players to leave the benches, especially when the bullpen comes out, which happens every single time. But nobody charges them out anymore. And then we have these benches clearing incidents. They're not even brawls, and it just everyone stands around for a half hour. It happens 15 times a year. Do what Stern did in the early 2000s with the NBA. You leave the bench, you get suspended 10 games. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I think this is all settled.
Yeah, but how are the relievers going to get their cardio?
You know, I didn't think about that, Ninja. I completely take back everything I just said.
The Braves shut out the Nats 12-0. Reynaldo Lopez had 1K in 1 inning, giving up 1 hit and no runs. He had this painted fastball. Do you know why he only pitched 1 inning yesterday, Will?
It hurt.
It's shoulder tightness, not hurt. But when his first fastball didn't crack 90 miles an hour, they're like, this is curious. He ended up getting it up to 94 miles an hour, but really wasn't feeling his best. Hopefully, Reynaldo Lopez will be back at full strength soon.
Yeah, he also knew they're playing the pathetic Nationals. We'll beat them by a dozen anyway, so fair play.
It's true. He faced Mackenzie Gore, who had 3 Ks in 3 2/3 innings, giving up 7 runs, but only 2 were earned. He had this curveball, including this one where he missed his spot, and this is off the plate and somehow still called a strike. I guess we'll take it. The Blue Jays beat the Mets 6-2. Chris Bassett had 8 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run. He had this backdoor two-seamer, this cutter, nasty curveball and sweeper. He faced David Peterson, who had 2 Ks in 4 1/3 innings, and had these sliders. Albert Suarez had 8 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run as the Orioles beat the Red Sox 5-3. He had these cutters, this changeup that picked up a sword, as well as these curveballs and picked up a sword with that too. He faced Cutter Crawford, who had 6 Ks in 6 1/3 innings, giving up 3 runs, and had these curveballs, picked up a sword. The Guardians beat the White Sox 5-0. Ben Lively had 2 Ks in 2 scoreless innings, giving up 1 hit. He had his two-seamer and changeup. He left this game early because he was hit by a comebacker right in the leg. I want to see this bruise because it is going to be legendary. All shades of purple. You're going to see the seams. It's just going to be great.
I think you just want to see his legs, I do.
I mean, he does have lively legs. He faced Johnny Cannon, who had 4 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 3 runs. He had this painted fastball, this changeup, and sweeper. The Reds blanked the Cards 3-0. Rhett Lauder had 3 Ks in 5 scoreless innings, bringing his ERA this year to .59. He had this wicked sinker, this slider, and changeup. He faced Andre Palante, who had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 3 runs. He had this elevated two-seamer, this slider, and these curveballs, and picked up a sword. The Spaghetti Pirate, Spencer Arrighetti, had 7 Ks in 6 2/3 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had this painted fastball, this painted cutter, as well as these curveballs, and also this changeup, and picked up a sword. He faced JP Sears, who only had 1 K in 6 scoreless innings. His K was on this fastball. But still, the A's beat the Astros 4-3. The Padres down the Mariners 7-3. Yu Darvish had 5 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. He had this painted fastball and these wicked two-seamers. He faced George Kirby, who had 4 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 5 runs, and these sliders, and picked up a sword. Not a great outing from George Kirby.
Machado had a crucial dong in this game and became the all-time leader in Padres homers. So congrats to Manny Machado.
Will sounds like he's underwater because he is underwater right now. Or his mic isn't working. I prefer to picture Will in one of those cages like Houdini trying to escape. He can't escape. He's stuck in there and has to do the show from an underwater chamber. Aaron Savali had 2 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 runs as the Brewers beat the Giants 3-2. He had his paintish fastball that made the ump punch Conforto here. It's a little rude. You missed the call and you punched the hitter. He also had this curveball. He faced Landon Roop, who had 3 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 2 runs, and had this elevated two-seamer and these curveballs. The D-backs shut out the Rangers 6-0. Zach Gallen had 7 Ks in 5 scoreless innings, making this his second consecutive scoreless outing. He had these fastballs, including this one at the knees, and this one that was chalked, as well as this slider. He faced Nathan Eovaldi in a rematch of last year's World Series. Eovaldi had 6 Ks in 5 innings, giving up 4 runs, and had these cutters and curveballs. The Twins beat the Angels 10-5. Pablo Lopez had 10 Ks in 7 innings, giving up no earned runs, and had 1 walk. Had these changeups, these curveballs, and sweepers, and picked up a sword. He faced Griffin Canning, who had 4 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 9 earned runs, which will leave a mark on your ERA. Had this fastball and changeup. Seth Lugo was fantastic yesterday with 10 Ks and 7 scoreless innings, giving up only 3 hits as the Royals blanked the Yankees 5-0. He had this painted backdoor two-seamer, these cutters, and these high spin rate curveballs up to 3,400 RPMs. a tour de force by Seth Lugo. He faced Marcus Stroman, who had 4 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 3 runs, and had this splitter, slurve, and curveball. Now onto my filthiest relievers. Jose Alvarado had these cutters. Yanier Cano had this 97-mile-an-hour two-seamer and this slider and picked up a sword. Aroldis Chapman had this 103-mile-an-hour gas. Jesse Chavez had this front door two-seamer and cutters. Devin Williams had this nasty airbender. Brusdar Graterol was back yesterday and had this backdoor painted two-seamer that left Seiya Suzuki just standing there, pondering his existence. Josh Hader had this White Castle special. Justin Martinez had these fastballs up to 102 miles an hour. Orion Kirkring had this back foot sweeper. The Dominican Shohei Ohtani, Michel Otanez, had these sliders. AJ Puck had this filth. And Robert Suarez had these overpowering fastballs. My top 5 filthiest pitches of the day yesterday. At number 5, we have Bryan Abreu for picking up 5 Ks in 2 innings with these fastballs up to 100 miles an hour and these wicked sliders. At number 4, Keider Montero for his shutout. Yay! At number 3, Seth Lugo for his curveballs and all his stuff. At number 2, this ridiculous slider from Blake Treinen. Absolute filth. And at number 1, Yoshinobu Yamamoto for his dominance. Just as good as you're ever going to see. And now, my pitching ninja moment of Zen. I love this from Shota and Shohei as they face off. My picks of the day today, I'm going to start out with Sean Manaea for 6 Ks or more, then take Matthew Boyd for 6 Ks or more, and top it off with Zach Wheeler for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?